Hello everyone, how's it going? BigLT here. Welcome back to another food review. And a good morning to everybody. At least it's morning for me. Wrong way. What am I, Scotty? We're doing root beer float flavored Cinnamon Toast Crunch from General Mills. No offense, Scotty. I smell cinnamon, but not root beer. Or float, for that matter. Where I got this? Walmart. And this was unplanned until I went... Well, dang. This was unplanned until I went grocery shopping on Monday. This is Wednesday. It's the same Monday this Wednesday's week is in. When I got paid and everything. Well, I got paid on a Friday, but I went grocery shopping on a Monday. So, went by the cereal department and they saw they had this. And I was like, I heard this was coming out. But I thought it wouldn't be until, like, June. Because I think they said this was supposed to be a summer release. It's May, not June. 2%. Only the best. I can. That's the best you're gonna get out of me. I'm gonna have to eat over here and give you my opinion over here. If I can get a spoonful, thank you very much. Thank you. I don't think this complements itself very well. I mean, first off, yeah, you do get the root beer. But cinnamon and root beer don't exactly mix. Might be one other one of those straight down the middle kind of ratings, but we'll see. So, it's a Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but with root beer. And the milk, I would imagine, is supposed to be that of a ice cream root beer float part of it. Let's read the ingredients, because might as well. Whole grain wheat, sugar, rice flour, canola and or sunflower oil, fructose, maltodextrin, dextrose, salt, cinnamon. Told you there's cinnamon in there. Not going to pronounce that one. I will not try to pronounce that again. Especially with my, dental. I don't think you can tell, but it's kind of hard. Natural flavor, caramel color. I would imagine those two have to involve root beer in some way. Rosemary extract. BHT added to preserve freshness. What the hell is that? We also get the vitamins and minerals part of the ingredients. Calcium carbonate, vitamin C, iron and zinc, AB vitamin, vitamin B6, vitamin B1, vitamin A, vitamin B2, AB vitamin, vitamin B12, and vitamin D3. Contains wheat and soy ingredients. And if you speak, I would imagine, Spanish, you can pause that. There's your ingredients in Spanish. What's the ingredients in my milk? Milk. Reduced milk fats, vitamin A, palmi. I'm not even try. Vitamin D3 contains milk. Contains milk in a milk. There's milk in the milk. You don't say. It's getting soggy pretty fast. That's going to deduct some points, most likely. Doesn't that normally do that? Not this fast. For me, at least. Just so you know, this is the only other food review I had to do. Out of the food reviews I had to do. And that was only two. The mac and cheese and this. Actually, I couldn't even finish the mac and cheese. It started tasting terrible after the review. I still stand by my review, but after a few more bites, I couldn't do it. This one, on the other hand, I'm not about to let that milk go to waste. Actually, for some reason, it's starting to taste better. But here's my reasoning. If you let it sit in the milk for a little while before it turns soggy, obviously you don't want it to go full soggy. The flavor actually starts tasting better. You get more root beer, less cinnamon, probably because the cinnamon's in the milk, but it's almost like if it was Golden Grams almost, but minus the honey, because obviously we read the ingredients. There was no honey, so I never realized this. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, when it's not Cinnamon Toast Crunch, it looks like Golden Grams. I never realized that. It's basically just Golden Grams with cinnamon and sugar on it. Is it made by the same company? It's gotta be. Yeah, letting it sit for a little bit, it starts tasting better. Better than it was when you just start eating it right away. Maybe I'll add a couple of points for that. But yeah, once you add the milk and then eat right away, the cinnamon and root beer flavoring just don't go together. If you let it sit for probably about a good 2 or 3 minutes, flavor actually starts tasting a lot better. You get a little bit more of that root beer flavoring, less of the cinnamon and sugar flavoring. And I think it actually works. Actually, I think the sugar part of it might actually enhance the root beer, because there's sugar in root beer. Let's be honest. I guess if it was me and I was running General Mills and I had to redo this, I would leave out the sugar and the cinnamon, keep the sugar, but add that root beer flavoring, whatever it would be. It would be the natural flavoring or the caramel color, or both, whatever. And then I think you had a hit. In fact, they've done things like Dulce de Leche Toast Crunch and all that stuff. Why couldn't they just call this root beer float or just root beer toast crunch? I don't know. I mean, you don't want to put root beer in your toast, but you get what I'm saying. Like, basically, if they wanted to do the root beer thing, they could have dropped the cinnamon and they just felt like a root beer toast crunch or something, or whatever. I don't know. They done it. I believe they done it for like Dulce de Leche and caramel toast crunch. I think there was a caramel toast crunch, something like that. But yeah, they've done spin-offs like this. But again, if it were me and I was running General Mills, I'd tell them just drop the cinnamon and keep that root beer flavoring and the sugar in there. Might have actually tasted a hell of a lot better. I'm just saying. That just happened. All right. Rating before I die. I'm not gonna die. It's gonna take a lot than just that and what's going on in the world to make me die. Let's be honest. Rating. Straight down the middle. I'll give it the same rating I did with the mac and cheese yesterday, which is 6.5 out of 10. Again, if they left out the sugar, cinnamon. If they left out the cinnamon, probably tasted a lot better, probably gained more points and all that stuff. But because they kept the cinnamon, it didn't taste as good mixed in with the root beer part of the flavoring, and therefore I deducted a lot of points for that. But it redeemed itself after sitting in the milk for a while, and you couldn't taste the cinnamon much anymore. So, yeah. General Mills. You ever go back to this in the future after discontinuing it? Maybe just try to drop the cinnamon. I don't think they'll watch this, but maybe somebody out there who's watching this can reach out to General Mills and say, hey, do that root beer float cinnamon toast crunch thing again, but don't add the cinnamon. Okay? Don't add the cinnamon. But do everything else, just don't add the cinnamon. You can keep the sugar, just don't add the cinnamon. And then try again. But anyway, thanks so much for watching this food review. I've been BigLT, and I'll see you guys next time for another food review. Scusi. You guys have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.